Hey guys, it's Drew from the Off-Road Corner. I wanted to give you guys my top 5 tools that I use in my shop at home. So these tools that I'm going to show you are things that I use almost every week. Working on cars here in my shop or in my garage. I have 4 vehicles that I have to keep on the road, and without these tools I couldn't do that job. So, in no particular order, let's start with a jack. Wait. And jack stands. Now, I put these two together because really they mean nothing without the other. So, having a jack without jack stands is worthless, and having jack stands without a jack is worthless. This one I have here, it's just a 3-ton from Harbor Freight. You can pick it up for about 60 bucks. I'll try and find an equivalent to this. This jack's about 6 years old. It's worked very well for me, and really don't have any complaints other than when I have to lift up my truck. It's a little bit undersized. Why this is on my top 5 is because without this I couldn't get underneath the car. I mean, I do have a 2-post hoist at my dad's shop, but not every week or job warrants a 2-post hoist. Sometimes it's just as easy, jacking the front end of a car up to change oil or to check what's leaking, or maybe for some reason I can't get the car out to the shop to get on the hoist. I have my jack and jack stands. The next thing on the list is a set of hand tools. So this right here is a 263-piece Craftsman tool set. Comes with just about everything you're going to need. You got wrenches, you have 3/8 and 1/4 inch ratchets and sockets, deep and short. Both sets have standard and metric, which is great because my Plymouth is pretty much all standard and everything else I drive is metric. So this kind of covers both. You got more 3/8 sockets. You got metric, standard, deep wells, pretty much everything you're ever going to need. And then you have your 1/2 inch socket. These are shallow sockets. They're 12 points, which is not the greatest for being a mechanic or using in the home shop, because 12 points don't have as much of a pressure angle as a 6-point will, aka 6-point sockets don't round off bolts nearly as fast as 12 points do. So that's kind of a drawback to this set, but it's in a box. I can close this thing up, throw it in the Jeep, and we were on the trail. And I had to have everything I need to fix it. Just like that. When you're at home, sometimes you need a third hand. And sometimes that third hand isn't readily available. Well, I have a third hand right here. My 6-inch vise. This makes the list because sometimes you just need that third hand, and that's all you need. This is great for pressing in U-joints on drive shafts and holding things while you hit them with a hammer. Don't want to break a nail. This is a 6-inch vise. It swivels. It's really great. I don't really have too much bad to say about this thing. It's served me well. High vis orange, so I can't lose it. I mean, it'd be pretty hard to lose it on the top of my bench, but it's possible. Next on the list is a good bench. Having a bench in your garage at home is what separates guys that work on the floor and guys who work on a bench. This one here is about 3 foot by 4 foot. It's pretty good. My shop garage isn't the biggest in the world. It's 20 by 20. So you get a car in here and there's not much space for anything else. But always got to have room for the bench. The next item on my list is probably would make a lot of people's list, but it's very important to me when working in my shop, is my overhead lighting. So I have 8 4,000 lumen LED shop lights. I use these, I probably don't need 8 lights, but as cheap as they are, why not have them? I believe that more light is better than no light. Alright, there you go, guys. That's my top 5 tools I use in my garage. I'd like to know what you guys use in your garage. What would be your top 5 things that you couldn't do the work that you do in your garage without? Just leave them in the comments below. Next week we'll get back on the Cherokee. I gotta replace that power steering line. We're probably gonna end up flushing the fluid too at the same time. So look forward to that. Take it easy.